All right. Oh, sounded exhausted last time. It's because I was finishing up. And this stuff is crazy. Now I need to find 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes for that system to complete. Well, I can think of something to do. Because I went and I looked at my Nauvis. I'm like, it's still sad, right? But this is going to get a filter on it. And it's just going to be stopped at this point. So that's something that I'm doing is I'm watching this stuff, and it seems like I have some kind of statement of, I've got enough. Then that's just it. I have enough. Not a greedy man. Plastic's kind of like that too. But there's a bigger issue with that, which is I need these red chips so bad that I might even think about boosting copper production if I didn't know better. Stone, on the other hand, is one where I can look over at the landfill mine and not, like, zone out and overthink. And look over to this section and say, well, we've got speed 2s now. The goal's just going to be to demolish this mine as fast as I can at this point. Because it's less worthwhile to have drills here than it is to have absolutely anything else. So get a setup where I can put some beacons down. And then throw some speed 2s in it. And then that's part of the deal why this stone isn't as developed. Although I'm probably going to take this mine more seriously because it's attached to an idea like I know that probably looks strange, but I'll follow it up with something where it'll make more sense. Yeah, I'm trying to get this upgraded into an idea which just makes more sense at this point. So I'll get that going. And with that upgrade, you probably are going to see why. Because that's 189 of those. It's like, oh, well, that's why we're using beacons on limited number of parts to fill things up. Because I can't support spacecraft production and do that at the same time. So instead, I'm just going to tear that down and put in one of those neat little lane mines with 2 lanes, maybe 3. Crank that up, drop it down to a red belt, so I don't have to use as many drills to get the same kind of production. Because that one I want to last. And since this brick factory is being burnt to stone anyways, I'll let that one stay. Because with the amount of rocks that I have here, I can make whatever I want out of this. And that even applies to the rare ones. There's not going to be any plus stuff coming from this conversation. But I'll have to wait until it's fully been done. Because at this point, I could probably make a couple of rare quality centrifuges, or just make a assembly line which does concrete. And then just a quick review of my to-dos. Alright. They got cleaned up. So, 6 belts copper is going to stay. And I'm going to add police stone. Sunlight idea. Sunlight quality in stone. And then priority 2 is going to be latrines. The priority 1 is get Gleba shipping bioflux. Get Gleba shipping bioscience. Get Gleba shipping carbon fiber. So, those are the goals. Still want to get some trains out there, but that'll be my 1 rocket silo worth of stuff. It's time to yoink all of this up, I think. Thing that I need to get over here is rocket fuel from Bioflux, so that's going to be the chief priority. Once I have that, I should be able to get away with a lot. Okay, I just about have heat 2 off of these, so that plan's worked. Of using orbital operations. I've had too much fun, right? So I know I'm gonna mix these up somehow. How about we not? Okay, this needs to go out a little bit further, or a little bit closer, because I have to have... Well, no. Spoilage is all handled in there. So it has to go in. Ah. That's what I want to see. And then ideally, spoilage happens as soon as possible. So this is a final spoilage filter. And I'll do something similar where it all pulls a turn. But mass production happens. Alright, and can I do this like so? If the answer is no, back on Nauvis we have these. That's how I'm doing this. And it's tricky. Because what I really want is a join and merge like this. Which then shoots that stuff out. Because at this stage, I can make artificial soils. And that does need to be a bulker there. Because it's going to handle mass spoilage at that point. But it's tricky because I need to get the entirety of the building off and dealt with as garbage before I go off to play other games. That suggests spoilage is going to be down here somewhere, and I think I can handle that. That's a huge area. I had to stop building because of that. Read contents, include fuel only. If that sees spoilage fuel less than 1, then it's not going to fire. So this has one job. Could probably use one of those for it to drop that down to 60 watts. Then put 3 of these in here because that 100 kilowatts is worth it. It'll pull nutrients in and suck them out. And when something spoils, it'll suck that out too. In case I ever do quality for any reason at all. That's an inflow vent. And now we have an outflow vent. So I guess that's the final puzzle. How does this get nutrients? I want it to be able to grab off of a fast belt, so let's do it like that. And then give that even more productivity so I can make the fruit go even further. While maintaining what I feel is an appropriate assembly line balance in power, which is to minimize it. On this side, it's a bit tricky. Because there is that power balance. There's also a speed balance here where I need to process a certain amount of these within a couple of minutes. So I'll probably just stick with what I have for that. Got that upgrade. I do want my lasers to be able to fire as fast as possible, so if a behemoth biter gets lost and heads towards my assembly line, they just sublimate. This, though, I need this. That's non-negotiable. And I'll probably use a steel one to keep punching things forward there. With steel, it's tricky because it saves you time and energy. and makes it so you can do more production science, but you're not doubling it without spending an egregious sum. So, is it worth it? Up to a certain point, it is. Okay. Can I get away with a lot? Read hand cont... No. Enable disable. Nutrients less than 2. Less than 3. So I don't want these to get caught holding a nutrient in their hand, because that can spoil. So, enable, disable, no. We're going to be read contents and fuel. Then do the same rigging here. One of these days I should blueprint this. But it's stuff that all happens in the first 100 hours of the run, where I don't know exactly what technology I have. So as much as I say, oh, you know, it would be a great idea to blueprint this, it's like, do I actually know what I'm even holding in my hands at this point? What's a great idea now is not a great idea in 10 minutes. And then if it spoils, just dump it on that assembly line. That's only spectacular. Alright, so that's my nutrients line for that one. And the way that this game is played is it has to split. Go up and feed into these lines. Which can also spoil. and then go back around. If it spoils. And then you look at these ones and you go, well, how spoiled are we talking about here? It's like potentially all 30 of that jelly and maybe some bioflux. Where did I put the copper? Because I need to make some advanced circuits. And by some, I mean we're putting in the prod mods and putting it into a faster machine because I need to make a lot of advanced circuits. Where's that orbital stockpile of stuff? It did so well on the gears.